G'day battlers, and today we're doing some Forest Cup battles with Scolipede in almost every battle. There's one battle that doesn't have it, but we'll get to that a little later. Now we are up against Crusader here, and we have the Scolipede mirror match. So we charge up to basically the Sludge Bomb and then switch out to catch the charge move, thinking it's going to be an X-Scissor, and it actually isn't X-Scissor, so definitely a good call on our end. And we're kind of just happy to let what's his name? Electric Spider? Let Galvantula go down at this point, because we were kind of expecting a hard counter to come in, but we would be able to keep all of the energy on Scolipede and then use up the other Scolipede's energy. So yeah, we were very lucky and able to actually get a shield out of Crustle. That's just a bonus for us because we were kind of expecting nothing to be at the disadvantage. Now we bring in Mantine here, which you might second guess because obviously Crustle has rock moves, Mantine does not like rock, but Mantine in the lead situation, like with full health, no energy, Mantine actually does win up against Crustle and Scolipede loses. Mantine actually, well, the way that PV Poke plays out is that you throw the Bubble Beam and then it gets shielded up, and then you throw an Aerial Ace that lands, and it just plays out that you do beat Crustle. So we kind of shot ourselves in the foot a little bit there by throwing the Aerial Ace first, which got shielded, and then he was able to land a Rock Slide, but because he had so much less health, we were actually able to take it out anyway, just by landing that next Aerial Ace. In comes back the Scolipede, and it had a bunch of energy stored up already, so I would throw another X-Scissor there to take us out. But we bring in Scolipede, and we know who's on 0 energy, so we farmed up a little bit more energy, throw the Sludge Bomb at it, which almost takes it out, and then we're going to be able to farm up a little bit more energy. Unfortunately, we're going to have to shield it up here, but we are going to have a ton of energy to go onto the next Pokemon, so we're not sure what it is at this point, so we're kind of just hoping that we don't get like super hard countered, but it is Blaziken, and this is where Scolipede just shines. Because it is a neutral matchup sort of king, it is able to get that Sludge Bomb off and take out Blaziken, which is absolutely fantastic for a bug type to be able to do. It's just not something you really think of, so if you can get Scolipede in a situation that it has energy and no shields left, it can definitely do a ton of damage to basically anything that's coming its way. So going into game 2 here, you have Kingdra up against Stunfisk, and Stunfisk is one that I would really like to be using in my own practice battles because it's definitely pretty potent in the Forest Cup. It can do a fair bit, but unfortunately I just don't have the candy, and all of my rare candy at the moment kind of going towards Ferrothorn because I do not have a double move on that. I do have a single move Ferrothorn that's powered up, so you might see a single move Ferrothorn in the next video, but yeah, I'm a little bit of candy away from getting a second move, so we'll just have to see how that plays out. I'm looking at this my buddy and everything, but yeah, we'll just have to see. So Kingdra up against Stunfisk, we've burnt one shield on his end, and we're just going to let him take us out here. And it is just a Mud Bomb, so definitely going to take us out though. So we've got two options of Scolipede and Blaziken, so we bring in the Blaziken so that we can kind of hope to counter down and then charge up a lot of energy on the Blaziken. So we're definitely going to have to burn a shield here to keep Blaziken healthy, but then we should be able to farm all the way down, and we'll have enough for a Blast Burn by that point actually. So yeah, we've taken him all the way down, got a ton of energy, and in comes Blaziken for the mirror match, so we decided to just go Blast Burn, hope that he thinks we have Stone Edge and might shield up in case of that, but does not shield up, so unfortunately it just does a little bit of damage. Would have been nice to land a Blast Burn instead of a Blaze Kick, but this way we are able to get 2 Blaze Kicks off before he gets a charge move, burns that shield off him, and then we're actually going to be able to shield this charge move and then finish off the Blaziken, so just so that our Scolipede doesn't have to end up taking out a Blaziken with just a 0 energy lead. And it actually turns out that Ferrothorn is in the back, able to get a clutch Blaze Kick off, and this will take out the Ferrothorn, which is super lucky for us because Scolipede is not in a great spot up against Ferrothorn when you don't have Mega Horn. So in this video I'm running X-Scissor and Sludge Bomb. I'm not sure if that's the best moveset. Like, it seems to be two schools of thought, whether you want to go for double bug or if you want to have X-Scissor and Sludge Bomb. So I'll do a bit more digging as we kind of go, see whether you do want the Mega Horn or not. But yeah, it's just something that's going to come up whether you really want it or not out of the practicing. It's only like day 3 of May here, so yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. But we have Lantern up against Scolipede now, and Crusader's already lost 1 shield. We're going to burn this shield here because we think we can get to another charge move. It is just an X-Scissor, so we actually probably could have tanked that. Yeah, I don't think we really needed to shield, but actually I think we're shielding up. What do we have in the back? Maybe we have, like, we really don't want Scolipede to see what we've got in the back. We're actually able to water gun down there by burning 2 shields, so I guess we were going for the switch advantage as opposed to the shield advantage. And in comes Kingdra, so definitely nice to be able to get this Thunderbolt off onto the Kingdra. It's not like a super effective like Doobadoo because Kingdra has the Dragon typing as well as the Water typing, but still able to burn that last shield. We have Macargo and Scolipede in the back, so we're going to bring in Scolipede here. Hope that we can get to the Sludge Bomb. We're going to hope that this is just an Octazooka and not an Outrage. And it is an Octazooka, so this is definitely looking good for us. And we're going to be able to get this Sludge Bomb off, which will do a ton of damage to Kingdra because it is not the tankiest Pokemon. And it goes through, takes out the Kingdra, and what's it got in the back? It is that Blaziken. So we're going to switch into Macargo here, and we thought we had Macargo with a Rock Quick Move, but it turns out that he has a Fire Quick Move, so we're kind of like, oh dear, counter is doing a lot of damage to us here, getting hit by a Charge Move. It is a Blaze Kick, we can tank it. Can we get to the Stone Edge? We can get to this Stone Edge, which will take out the Blaziken at this range, and so absolutely clutch Macargo taking it out. Macargo is an interesting one. I've seen people talking about it. I think it's worth maybe a little bit more of a look. It's kind of like Cradily with that sort of, it becomes a rock type, but instead it is that fire typing. But yeah, now we're going to be up against PS239 Riverboy. Again, going to bring in Scolipede, but we've got Kingdra in the lead here, and actually going for the Kingdra mirror match. So we'll see how this decides to play out. I think I look to switch to try and like catch the charge move or something. Yeah, I end up trying to switch, and it ends up putting us in this situation here, which is like not the best, so I guess we have to shield up, and then we might switch out to keep the energy in the back. But then we bring in Water Gun Lantern into Kingdra, which already isn't the best matchup for Lantern. And then he has a hard counter of Tangrowth there in the back, so switching out into Tangrowth. Just a message there. I'm not sure what sort of covering up of the screen just happened, but yeah, there was just a messenger notification. There's no more in this video, just the one. But we let Lantern go down to the Bind Whip there. Bring in Scolipede because, I mean, Bug type against Grass type, going to be good, right? But Tangrowth does have Rock Slide there, which is definitely going to hurt. I probably should have shielded, but I guess it doesn't really matter because we're able to take him out anyway. But he still has 2 shields, which we are very worried about at this point because you don't have a lot of shield pressure left to give. He lets that X's go through to take out the Kingdra, and then we bring in Kingdra here. Our only chance at like anything here is if this Octazooka gets the debuff, so that's why we went for that. Does get the debuff, but it looks like counter is just doing far too much damage. It's well outpacing the Dragon Breath, and it is GG's there. He probably would have been able to get to like 2 Blaze Kicks maybe, although I do know that he's running the Stone Edge Blaziken, so maybe he has Blast Burn Stone Edge. But this is the one battle where we don't use Scolipede because I was kind of like, well, I want to kind of feign. I didn't mention Scolipede when I was like, yeah, battles. So I wanted to use it in the first battle, not use it in the second, so they didn't know what was going on, and then use it again in the third. But we have a Zoomer up against Blaziken here, which is definitely fantastic for us. He does have Stone Edge, which is better than like having a double fire moveset. Again, having different type moveset, definitely a nice thing to have. And in comes Meganium, so I'm going to go straight for the play rough here because we are not packing the Ice Beam. Does go through, doesn't do tons of damage. So this is like fresh off of Voyager Cups all being done, so I probably can TM the Azumarill over to Ice Beam Play Rough now, which is a little bit better for the Forest Cup. Frenzy Plant does come through and takes us out there, but we're happy to let it go down. Bring in Sunny Castform. In comes Electivire, a whole lot of switches coming out here. Shield with the charge move here, and then thinking we're gonna get this Weather Ball off, and then oh no, just farm up to the Weather Ball and then switch out. But unfortunately, he's able to get the charge move off first. Let it come through though, because we know Sunny Castform can tank it. Not that well, but we'll see how well it actually can tank it when Sunny Castform comes back out. But Trash Wormadam is another interesting pick. Confusion is a really heavy hitting move, but there isn't too much in this cup that Confusion like is really super effective against. So it's kind of just a big damaging move. Meganium's coming back in, and because he's still got 2 shields at this point, we go for the Iron Head to try and burn one of those shields, which we are able to do. And then I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get to another Bug Buzz at this point. Obviously Meganium does have Earthquake, which will definitely hurt at this point. It does just go for the Frenzy Plant though, so trying to burn the shield. Definitely lucky for us. And lag, let us get a charge move off. We are able to get the Iron Head. We're a little worried that by the time things all came back, he would be able to get a charge move off to finish us off. But we throw the Iron Head, get to the last shield, and then we can switch back into Sunny Castform to throw this Weather Ball and take out the Meganium for the game there. So that is GG's there. And then we've got one more battle in this video. I'm still bringing in that Scolipede for the 5th time out of the 6 battles. But yeah, Scolipede is going to be coming back now. And in the lead. So Scolipede up against Tangrowth. So this is an interesting matchup just because Tangrowth does have that, the rock damage will definitely hurt. Now, he brought in Ferrothorn and we threw the charge move, which probably wasn't the most advisable decision. But then we look at what we have in the back. We don't have like a great counter for Ferrothorn here. Mantine's kind of the best thing we have, and we're just hoping that a Thunder isn't going to be coming through, but we shielded up in case there was the Thunder. It turns out it was just a Power Whip, and now we're going to go for the Bubble Beam here to weaken down the Ferrothorn a little bit. By the time this matchup kind of plays out, I'm sort of expecting him to end up switching out before his Ferrothorn goes down. That or our Mantine ends up being taken out by a Thunder, but yeah, just a Power Whip, so assuming he's got a standard non-Thunder moveset. Going for another Bubble Beam just to weaken down the Ferrothorn a little bit more. Maybe I should have gone for an Aerial Ace, but it's also not a great move up against Ferrothorn because he does have the Steel typing. So I'm going to let another Power Whip come through, knowing that it's double debuffed at this point, and then does switch out into Tangrowth, so we're able to switch back into the Scolipede here. Scolipede is definitely like in an okay spot, but we really should have shielded there because it lets him hit us with a Rock Slide. We're on so low health at this point, this is definitely going to get shielded up. I think that was a massive mistake on our part by not shielding, because he is going to be able to quick move us down. He'll have a little bit of energy to go, ready to throw at this Mantine here, which we are lucky enough that he was able to burn it on a low health. But we shield. We're really trying to go for the Aerial Ace because we know that Azumarill is not going to have the best time up against Tangrowth in the back. I think we might have lost this one, but ladies and gentlemen, lets the Tangrowth go down, but he still has two Pokemon, and one of them is Ferrothorn. We now have Ferrothorn with a shield up against Azumarill with no shields and no Ice Beam, so yeah, it's GG's here. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, especially that subscribe one. Thank you to my patrons. Eventually, I guess we should probably still let this battle play out, even though it's game lost at this point. This player is going to burn the last shield. I'm not going to bring the Patreon image until the battle's done. So yeah, more Forest Cup battles will be coming soon. Probably going to shoutcast a Forest Cup tournament if I can soon enough. So definitely keep an eye out for that too. Maybe before next weekend or just at the start of the weekend. But yeah, now the battles are done. Thank you to my patrons, brajSF, Militime9458, Yowurtle, NegativeBen10 and NotRandyN3wman. Throw in a funky new order of thanks there. So yeah, thank you to all of them for supporting the channel. Really do appreciate that. And I'll see you in the next Forest Cup video.